Hello, my name's John and I'm one of the team here at the John Moore Museum. You may remember me last time from the tooth worm. Well, today I'm doing the Medieval Barber Surgeon again, so we thought we'd look at something different today. And what we're going to look at, we're going to touch on headaches. Now, we all get headaches, okay, lots of different types. Nowadays we have a nice easy pill. Back then it wasn't quite so hard. If you had lots and lots of headaches all the time, they might do an operation. Now, this is one we've probably all heard of. It's the trepanning operation. It's drilling the holes in your head. But it changed over time. The early medieval period, they didn't use a drill like we think. They would use one of these. And how they would work this one is quite simple. You'd have the patient would actually lie on your lap and you would start drilling a series of holes like this. That is probably all they did. We know they didn't really do any other sort of deep brain surgery, but as you can imagine, that's probably quite hard and painful. And I've got a much better method to try and solve your headache. That involves one of these. This is the trephine saw. And they thought, this is wonderful, it's much faster. And again, what they would simply do was start sawing on the patient. Now, they'd have to make a series of different cuts. And in the Blue Peter moment, here's one I did earlier, they would have a set of 4 cuts, which most of us would call noughts and crosses head. But no, today it's hashtag. So this is hashtag trepanning. When they'd done that, they would take a very small little lever called a lavatory, pop it in the square there, and raise that middle out. They're then having a good look at the brain. That's all they did. They didn't actually do any more fiddling around. They wanted to know what colour it was. Was it blue? Was it green? That's bad. If it's pinky grey, that's right. However, I'm sure you'll think that's quite a small hole. So what they came up with was one of these. Now, if your dad's a carpenter, this is a brace and bit. But to a surgeon, it's a trephine drill. It's a wonderful little tool. It's got a little sharp spike in the middle so it doesn't skitter around. It's got a depth gauge so I can set it shallow or deep. And again, the patient would be there and I'm just going to start drilling away. Probably talking about the weather, probably talking about the football. Anything that was going on, big fight in the football on Saturday morning or the 2 villages, oh I don't know. When they'd done that, you had a little bit of a bigger hole. And here's one I made earlier. This was exactly the same hole as that tool was used, the same size. But again, all they are doing is looking at the brain underneath. They're not really worried about bits and pieces in there. We know archaeologists today find these, and people like Alice Roberts, they can have a look at the edge of this bone and see if it's recovered, see how much it's grown. From that, they can tell if somebody died at the time of the operation or if they lived for a while afterwards. I think the amazing fact here is that about 50 to 60% died, 40% survived, which you think I could be doing this in this floor here in the merchant's house today. I think you'll agree it'd be a very successful operation, but it's not as good as just getting a pill from the chemists.